I think Beau might be a little bit nervous with this whole thing, so I think we should just take the first couple minutes and just mess with him as much as we possibly can. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think you should be nice to my friend Beau. He's a fantastic gentleman, a scholar, and a contributor to the world of pocket billiards. So,
That's all the more reason to mess with him as much as possible, isn't it?
no, we got to protect that man at all costs.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, Beau, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
I'm a little bit bummed out. We don't get to mess with you at least a little bit, but
Oh, you can mess with me. I'm a good sport.
well, there you go. That's fun. I don't want Ray to beat me up. He's a very angry guy these days, you know. Ever since the Moscone Cup, I just feel like he's just been raging a little bit more than normal.
Well, he can't be too upset. We beat Josh.
That's true.
I'm kind of the mindset that if you see a problem, and you don't take action to go fix it yourself, then you're just complaining. So I'm on my way.
There you go. Hard. And you're sounds like you're at a pool hall, huh?
Yes, I am.
Where are you at?
I'm at a pool hall. I think we just discussed that.
Yeah, you said it was top secret, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to see if he'd spill the beans.
No, this is an egg you can't crack.
This is seems fine. All right.
It's got yellow lockers apparently, so there's probably not too many of those.
That's the only Easter egg you get. Yeah. So tell me about Beau. Beau's got a tournament coming up at his pool, doesn't he?
Yeah, so obviously, if you're tuning in to check this out, we got Beau Powers on. Hasn't been on the podcast before. We're bringing him on to talk about the tournament that he is running at Amazing Billiards. So why don't you talk about your event, Beau?
All right, so probably you guys have heard about it. It's the McDermott Classic 2024. We did it last year, and it's going to be bigger and better this year. Of course, we added a couple events to it. If you don't know, it's a WNT 9-ball ranking event. But we added a 1 pocket, 5,000 added, 1 ball, 1 pocket, 1,000 added, and then the main event is 10,000 added. Sponsored by McDermott. $1 Million Products is sponsoring the 1 pocket, and onepocket.org is sponsoring the 1 ball, 1 pocket.
Nice. So how did it go about getting all of your sponsors? So I guess for full disclosure, what we're going to talk about today, or what I would like to talk about today, is not only the event that you're putting on, but the background into how somebody like yourself would actually go about getting this done. Because of course, this is a Matchroom ranking event, correct?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I would like to go through the process
of
how we actually got to that. So I guess start out with your event. How long you've been running it, and then when did it transition over into a Matchroom ranking event?
Yeah, I can tell you the story. So this is going to be the second year. Last year was the inaugural one, obviously. And how it happened was Mason Shuney is the owner of Amazing Billiards. He's a freshman 3-cushion player, multiple national champion, and a really great guy and my boss. And he's been trying to do some sort of event at the Room with a lot of money added for a long time. And eventually we got McDermott to sign on for the McDermott Classic. And we were going to do this event, and we did it last year. It was going to be pool and billiards, and it was. And during the time, all the ranking events were getting started. And Chris Wilburn had his ranking event, and I saw the post from Roy's Basement saying like, oh, this is great. Congratulations, Chris, getting stuff over here. And I was like, I was kind of scratching my head because I wasn't too familiar with that region or pool in any other part of the country, if I'm being honest. And to that extent, at least. So I was like, why can't I do this? And I know one of my buddies who lived in Connecticut and was saying Shaw had one coming up. So I had a connection with the Magic Ball Rack guy, Roy. And we had been, he'd been sending me racks as a small sponsorship for a long time. And I reached out to him, and he kind of connected me with Matchroom. And I just said, hey, we got this event. We're going to have new cloth. We're going to have 5,000 added. We're going to have new balls. It's at Shuney's room. Can we do a ranking event? And 2 weeks later, we signed the contract. And then 7 weeks after that, we had the event. So it was pretty fast and quick, I kind of just went for it.
And Ray, you played in it last year, right?
Yeah, that was actually probably my best overall tournament that I played last year as a overall tournament. It was my first time in Walden, Mass to play. And I know of Mason in the three cushion circles. He's really well known as a national player and great guy. He was super, super hospitable to the full players. Beau and him ran a great event. They also ran it in conjunction with another three cushion event, so it was cool to see like crossover disciplines kind of in the same room, which is a lot of fun to interact with some of the three cushion players. Also, Beau had just integrated, is one of the first pool rooms to integrate digital pool, so it was basically a soft launch for their room with a new system, and it ran really smoothly. I got to have, I beat Wolford last year 9-2 in a set that I shot like over a 950 TPA. I shot a really high standard that match. Nick De Leon had me 6-0. I came back and won 9-8. And then I also beat Jose Alberto Delgado in that event 9-5. So I had a really great tournament. And it's a really cool old style kind of like classic pool room, lots of gold crowns. In the tournament room, they have one Rassin as well. And, Beau and his team. Yeah, right. Beau and his team. Yeah, Beau and his team ran a really wonderful tournament. So for my part, I really enjoyed my time there. I have a lot of friends in the Northeast, so it's kind of cool and fun way. I got to play some three cushion. I hadn't played three cushion in a little while. At least where I'm at, there's not a lot of three cushion tables anymore. I used to be in Miami where, they're everywhere because of the Latin American influence. But for me, yeah, it was a really fun event, and the scheduling was really perfect. You know what I mean? No real complaints as far as any of that goes to running of the tournament. And Beau's taking feedback throughout from the players as well and trying to improve and make things awesome. And I know, Beau, last year you also didn't have a full field and you had a promised payout. And I know Beau did the stand-up thing of committing to pay that money out, regardless of whether or not it was a full field. So I thought that was really admirable and speaks a lot about what Beau's about. We've had other promoters and stuff not do that, and it's caused problems for players, especially because it's for ranking event, so the money directly affects rankings for players and can mean the difference between being in consideration for Team USA and not. So all that to say, I think Beau's a great guy, and I'm really looking forward to the event. I'll be there next month. So I really can't say enough good things about it.
So that has happened. Obviously, Raymond hinted at it that it's happened before where players didn't end up fulfilling the fields. There wasn't a full field, and then some players prorated their payouts based off of what it would be as it was a full field. It sounds like that happened to you as well, Beau.
Yeah, for that event, we only had, from the very first time I talked to Matchroom to the first balls hit of the event was only 9 weeks. So as you can imagine, it was not a lot of time to get people to fly across the country to play an event. So we only got 77 out of 96. I think it was 77, but I ended up paying as if we had 96 players. So what it worked out to be is it was a 100% payback, and I had to add like $2,000 out of my own pocket.
So I guess take us through, because I think it's something that you didn't have to do. I don't think that there's anything that would require. Oh, I know where you're at. Of course I know where you're at. Am I going to see you tomorrow, Ray?
I got to go. See you guys later.
No, you don't.
Huh?
See you later, Ray. Thanks.
Of course. Why wouldn't I recognize this pool room? Of course.
Who is that? Is that
Tyler Steyer?
Oh, Tyler's coming in the event.
Tyler's going to be there too.
How long you up there
Tyler
for,
to say
Ray?
hi for a second.
You're not going to talk to me at all, Ray? You're not. How long are you going to be up there for?
Well, I mean, the cat's in the bag now.
I'll be gone tomorrow. So.
Oh, I'll be up there tonight. Well,
Sounds
Appleton,
good.
I guess.
But yeah, I do got to bounce, but I did just want to reiterate that Beau's awesome, and the pool room play is great. I mean, I played a really high level game there that last year, and I'm hoping to kind of carry over the success from Derby and continue to hopefully some more top form and get to hang out with the guys in the Northeast.
We did tighten the pockets to 4.5 inches for this event,
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm a fan of both. The tight pockets at like I like 4 1/8 maybe as a tightest. 4 inches, I just think you start losing some of the playability. 4.5, they're big for professional standards, but you also get a lot of aggression, a lot of like penalizes players a lot more. Certain players will be able to really punish you that maybe are on the fringe at 4 inches. So it's more the classic American standard, which I'm a fan of. So.
Thanks for coming on, Ray. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you guys got it. Text me if you need anything, Nate, and we'll chat soon. And peace out to everybody. Love you guys.
See you later, Ray. Thanks for joining.
Yep.
I guess just going off that discussion, I personally prefer 6.5-inch pockets. I just think
me and Mason have a huge difference of opinion about pockets. But the one thing I can agree on is, we did the pockets for 4.5 inches for this event, which was great because I think the pool needs some sort of standardization. Or 5 inches is crazy to me, especially with new cloth. But Matchroom actually asked to do 4 1/4. They said, "Hey."
Well, the hard part is if you're going to have 5-inch pockets, it's best for the casual player, right? It's like for a golf course, right? If you're going to set up a golf course, it's not that hard to like swap it up between professional and amateur. All you really, you got to tighten up the fairways a little bit. You got to cut them, maybe let the greens or that rough grow out a little bit, and then you move the tee boxes back 50 yards, whatever it is. You can't just exactly do that in pool, right? The tables are the tables, and anytime you tighten it up for a professional event, that's going to then hinder your casual crowd that comes in, because who's going to want to play pool on a 4-inch pockets if you're just a casual kind of ball banger player, right? No. But it's not like it's something that you could just switch back and forth, no problem. You can add a tee box into a golf course pretty easily. You can't just add shims and then unadd shims in a, it's an expensive and a very time. Yeah.
Big project for us. Well, and really time consuming. Yeah. We had to get it done. I had to source some extra Gold Crown 4 rails, and then we took a few at a time. We're actually not done with it yet. We got to finish it up, but it's very close to done, so I'm not very worried about it. But so we just, I got the sets, swapped them out, brought them to the mechanic, got them back, and just did that several times because we have, 14 Gold Crowns it's going to be. So, and then we moved a bunch of stuff around, but they wanted to tighten them up, but it's just crazy for a pool hall, and that's the thing we actually agree on. I think there should be a couple tight tables for, guys like maybe our speed who want to play on a tight box or play one pocket. So, and the thing about our room is we do have casual players, but I would say like easily 85 to 90% of the people that come in have a queue. It's more like a player's room. We don't have alcohol, and I think that kind of separates like the true bangers. Yeah, well,
I guess I'm never coming there. Wait, is it BYOB?
Okay. Well, if you come as a guest, well, maybe I'll get you a beer or two.
Wisconsin, it's Wisconsin.
I'm sure Mason can hook you up. He's the boss. He makes. Yeah. You get what I'm saying.
It's not. I would actually wither away and die if I didn't have alcohol. Yeah, because alcohol is about 65% of my caloric intake. So if I can't have alcohol, I just kind of just wither away and die.
All right, that makes sense.
It's a Wisconsin thing, and we don't expect you to understand. Cheese and
I've
cheese and
had
beer.
my drinking days. They're just fine. But...
No, that's good. All right, so I guess I'm not really. I don't remember where we were at when we were talking to Ray, but
we were just talking about the event.
Oh yeah. So I think there's a few. Shut up, Tracy. I don't like it when people pick on me from the comments. I can't just like remove them from the podcast. It's so much easier when I could just delete you from the podcast, but so much harder from the comments. All right. Okay. Yeah. So there's a few events across the country now that are doing the 1 ball, 1 pocket. I kind of thought that was an interesting dynamic to your event specifically. Where did you get the 1 pocket or the 1 ball, 1 pocket, and why did you decide to include it? Especially for a $5,000 added event, right? Is that what you said?
So sorry, 1 second. What do you need?
Put those headphones.
Put the headphones on. Okay. I'm getting a pro tip here.
Pro tip.
Okay. Sorry.
You're good.
If you can't tell, I'm stealing my mom's work station right now.
So I think. The fun part about this is I think you hear 1 ball, 1 pocket, and then they just start coming out of the woodwork to, players like Scott over here. He hears one ball, one pocket,
hey,
and comes
perfect
running.
timing. That's pretty strong. Nice.
Scott
What's
must have
up,
heard
guys?
the one ball, one pocket talk. How's it going, Scott?
Good. How are you?
Good. Living the dream. So the last question I just asked him, I think it's an interesting dynamic. The one ball, one pocket. There's a few events across the country. Maybe you would know better than I would, but it's definitely not a popular thing to have a real one pocket or a one ball, one pocket event with some real money added. Where did that come from? Why did you decide to pick that game specifically?
It's actually only 1,000 added.
Oh, is it? Okay. So it's
The
the 5,000 for the one
pocket.
pocket. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
That's still a lot.
They usually have it as like a precursor to some of these bigger events, like the event at Buffalo's in New Orleans. I've been playing that event for, I don't know now, probably 12 years, and they started doing that probably 5 or 6 years ago. And I guess it's kind of more like a warm-up deal versus anything real major. One ball, one pocket goes real quick. It's fun. It goes real quick. Doesn't wear you out, and it's just something nice to add to the event. Kind of like sprinkling a few cherries on top, I guess.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I wanted to get people to come in for the auction and just kind of make it fun the night before. That's really what it was. And of course, Steve Booth lives right in New Hampshire, and I've known Steve Booth, who's the onepocket.org creator, and you guys probably know Steve Booth. I'm sure Scott knows him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's who really kind of one of the guys who turned me on to One Pocket, and we would play. So he's adding he's adding all the money to the one ball, one pocket, and he's going to promote his book and do commentary throughout the week. And I just thought it seemed like the recipe for these events, and I wanted to give some of the players, the better players that are coming, a chance to have multiple events to recoup their money and make it worth their while.
I mean, that is a lot of the game, right? Scott, you would know this better than anyone. When you're traveling all the way across the country, 40 to 44 weeks out of the year, whatever a professional career. I mean, it's a little bit easier now, I think, because the prize funds are getting a little bit larger. But 10 years ago, you're chasing 35 to 45 events per year. And some of these events that you're playing in, you might be playing in some open event in the middle of, I don't know, pick a state, Arkansas, Montana, and first prize for it might be $1,300. And the only reason you're doing it is because it's in between event and the next event. And you're hoping that if you could win this $1,300 along the way, that it covers your travel from this event to this event.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And that's what happens nowadays. Luckily for me, it's a little different. Like you said, the money's better. I cherry pick. I play probably 6 or 7 majors a year now, versus all of them. But the younger guys can do it. It's very hard on me to do stuff like that. But
travel sucks.
It gets old. I've already gone there, been there, done that. So I'm not too interested in traveling every inch of this country all the time.
Yeah. So you'll have 3 quote unquote real events to make some money on. Of course, 2 of them are kind of specialized to the U.S. players, the one pocket. Although I'll tell you what, the way that some of these Europeans are coming out, and
yes.
You're talking Tony Chohan he's known as like one of the more aggressive one pocket players, and some of these Europeans are coming out with the firepower. They're just making him look conservative. It's silly the way some of these players overpower the game.
They don't want to get into a moving game.
The last couple nights, I've been doing commentary for the Derby, all the one pocket stuff, and some 9-ball stuff. I just do it out of my house. My friend owns all the rights to that content, and I actually just said the same thing. It's not even, they don't even play traditional one pocket. They're really just playing for the first shot. Their creativity, to be honest with you, it isn't really even fancy. They're just looking for the first shot because they shoot so good and they can run out, right? And that's really the simplicity of the game now. Whereas, like, if Chohan's playing filler, and I've watched this and lost money on this 3 times now, if he's playing filler, you're going to see a little bit more creativity because filler knows the game a little bit now. But really, he's limited because Filler's so fast paced and looking for the first shot. And it's like 2-3 inning games to where the game is almost like rotation pool.
That's basically how they're playing it, right? I mean,
Right,
the way that you
right.
said it, they're just playing for a 1 inning run out, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and Tony Chohan, if there was, he was always that highly aggressive player that was trying to push those innings forward. He wasn't looking at playing 6 or 7.
Well, I was actually the one before him.
You were,
way
you were,
before him.
yeah.
I had to
You really
change
brought
because
that
I'm
in.
old.
Yeah, you really brought that in, and then Tony just like went crazy with it.
Oh yeah.
But now, I mean, it is. I mean, it's the average innings of. So tell me if I'm wrong on this, Scott. I would guess that 50 years ago, 40 years, let's say 40 years ago, the average number of innings per one pocket game was probably in the 70s, maybe higher.
At least.
Now and probably 20 years ago, when you really started revolutionizing and Tony took it over, it probably went from the 70s to the 40s, and now it's probably down into the 20s.
Well, I mean, I was beating Tony for a long time. I mean, I beat Effort all 7 times. There were 1 series innings with me, many, many games. But watching, Ronnie Allen had the most aggressive style 40 years ago and carried it to like the 20 years ago. Keith McCready was real aggressive. And then you had guys like Pagduline, me, Corey Deuel. I was the most aggressive out of all of them, or the most creative out of all of them. So, I mean, you couldn't really put a number on that to like 40 innings. But to your point, probably on an average, I think it was I don't know. It would be somewhere probably around, maybe 25 to 30 innings at times. But I mean, 8 and out was always the best move, and I knew that at all times. The problem with me is, well, a lot of people don't know it, but I have a serious condition in my dominant eye, so I physically and mentally and consciously made a change to my style in order to compete with these guys because my shooting ability is no more, or I would still stay completely aggressive. You just can't do that if you have physical issues. But that being said, the game will never go back to what it used to be. And there is another big problem there, right? Because we don't have a standard table for one pocket in the United States, 4.5-inch pockets are, amongst one pocket players, there's not a single one that'll say they're good. They're way too big. And you got rotation players that are shooting shots that are just not normal, right? And really, they'll take a bank where they can lose the game, a long route bank where they can lose the game, and take that chance to win the game. Versus if you're playing on 4.25 or 4 1/8 inch pockets where the game actually really shows up, then players like myself become favorites. But that's not a possibility. So the innings, to your point and to my point, really become much less.
Sure. And sorry, Beau, I'm not trying to take the
No, you're
highlights
good.
away from your events.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think I don't know. It's just fun to talk some one pocket every now and then.
Of course. It is a one-pocket tournament too. So
yeah, what do you think the perfect size for pockets are? Do you think it's
4
3
and 8? We've
for one pocket still
out here out west, and amongst us top players, we've always agreed that 4 1/8 is like ideal. Obviously, 4 1/8 on a diamond with real worn cloth is going to play like 4, but 4 1/8 with newer cloth is going to play like 4 1/4.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect size because you can dig balls out, you can play kicks to the points, you can do a lot of different things. 4.5 is just too big. You can't dig balls out. You can't shoot the little cross corners around the pockets and things like that. So it completely changes the dynamic of the game. The entire game changes per table, which is unfortunate. It's an unfortunate part of the game. But it is what it is. We've been dealing with that forever. Here in Arizona, we have 8 pool rooms, and every pool room has at least 2 tables that are 4 1/8, and they're being used at all times. I mean, they're just constantly being used. But I think that's the way it is in a lot of pool rooms now. There's at least one table, like Texas Open. Those are all 4 1/4 that I believe that they're playing on. The pool room I play out of now, Metro, is all 4 1/4. the pool room down in Louisiana, they just had the event, is all 4 1/4. And that's okay, right? Because you can play rotation pool on 4 1/4, but you can also play a high level 1 pocket on 4 1/4 because of the takeouts and the kicks and the banks and things like that. There's just some things you can't do on 4 1/2. And, you know, but for events like the Derby, you know, they want 4 1/4 with new cloth. They want them to play like 5 inches because they need those matches to get over with quicker.
They
It
need
is
them to get
what
it over a
I
lot faster.
understand. Yeah, I understand both sides.
Yeah. So, Beau, we're bringing on Scott. What is your role going to be at this event, Scott?
I think I'm taking Beau's position. I think I'm just going to run the entire.
I can play pool now.
He would probably be thrilled with that.
I would like
guys
it.
drowning over there. I'm doing 3 clinics from what I know of, and then I'll be doing a bunch of commentating and playing. So I'll have a full week there, and I go directly from there to the POP. But I think that his event. I actually just got off the phone. I was just talking to Billy Thorpe on my way back here to the house, and he's supposed to give Mason a call, trying to figure out if he's going somewhere else or if he's going to the ranking event. Which I hope he goes to the ranking event. I feel he needs to go to the ranking event, but
he won it last year.
Yeah, he won it last year. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great event. I'm excited. Mason is an amazing host. He's from talking to him on the phone. It seems like he's just one of those guys that cater to the player, and it's really nice to go to rooms like that.
All right, so let's talk about the formats. Some of the formats for the event. I guess in order. What order do the events go in?
All right, so Tuesday night, it's March 12th. We're going to do the 1 ball, 1 pocket. But we're going to do the auction for the 1 ball, 1 pocket, and the auction for the 1 pocket, and then start the 1 ball, 1 pocket. So we'll probably start at like 8. Single elimination, it's races to 4. And then after that, it's going to be the 1 pocket in the morning. The 1 pocket, we're doing 2-stage event. So when you get to the top 8, it goes single elimination. So Wednesday is going to be the qualifying day, and Thursday is going to be the single elimination day. But there's a twist on that. Even though it's single elimination, I'm doing playoffs for the other spots. That way the payouts don't have to be so weird. I really don't like the payouts when it's single elimination. So
everyone's going to be playing for their spot. So if you get finished 9 through 12, you're going to be playing for that 9, 10, 11, and 12?
Well, it will be 8 on, right?
Well,
we're only paying 8 spots because there's 32 players.
So 7th, 8th, you're going to be playing off for that money.
Yeah, for 5th, 6th. Yep, they are. So I thought that was kind of a cool twist on it. That way we can speed it up and still have great matches, more matches for the fans to sweat, and then the players can still kind of play for a little extra money.
Beau, what's the race to? What's the race to when it gets to a single elimination?
4.
Oh, so the race doesn't change?
No, it was 3-3 and then 4.
Got it. Perfect.
3-3 and then 4. Oh, sorry. 3-3, then 4-3.
Got it.
So the playoff is 3. So yeah, sorry. I have it all written down. And then Thursday. So that should finish by it depends. I've been looking at a lot of these events and the timelines with new cloth, and I don't think it's going to take forever. Like Scott said, that there are bigger pockets, 4.5 with new cloth. I mean, it might as well be 5 inches. Let's be honest. Speaking of the Europeans, we do have a lot of the Europeans coming to play the 1 pocket. Like Niels Fine is playing. Victor Zielinski is playing. That's a name I haven't released yet, but just a couple. And Mario, he's playing the 1 pocket. Yeah, breaking news. Don't worry, it's coming out in 4.5 hours anyway. So I get the Facebook thing doing it for me. And then of course we get the auction. And another thing about the auctions is we're doing like a hybrid. I've done them online to save time before. But this time we're going to start it online and finish it in person. So that's a little bit of a twist.
So basically what you're doing is you're getting the 40% of dead space out of the way where, okay, well, going once at $50, and next thing you know, they're closing it at $850 because nobody wants to bid in the middle because they think like they're just wasting their time.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get rid of that basically?
During COVID, we used to just do it straight up online, and the payouts, the auctions in the Northeast are not that great no matter what. like, if you get 10,000 in the auction, then you're doing good. So I'm hoping that with this format, with some people in the room starting it online, where as soon as you walk in, it's already pretty high, we'll boost it up a little bit. So we'll see. It's something we've kind of done over here, where we started online, and then we've done like a Facebook Live finish. So it's not completely new territory for the Northeast. So yeah, that's a twist. I don't know if people realize that, but my buddy's actually making me a special like auction program for online to compete with an existing one, but he's basically asking me all the specific things I want. So I expect it to be pretty perfect, which is kind of cool. It's kind of the same relationship I have with Digital Pool right now, where I can ask for things and they like literally do it. And that's amazing and really cool for
Isaac,
pool.
Shout out to Digital Pool, because Isaac is the sponsor of the podcast. So
of course, Isaac's the man.
That's great work.
Zach's pretty great too. I don't know if you guys realize he kind of does more of the streaming side, and then Isaac's doing the digital pool side.
Yeah, I worked back in Nashville. We worked for like 27 straight hours. Zach never said a word. I worked right behind him. It was like unbelievable.
Yeah, people like that in this industry just put their head down and work type of people.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the road all the time, so I don't think people give him enough credit. I know he gets into some hot water online, but don't we all? So huge shout out to those guys working.
Yeah,
working really
Zach
hard.
enjoys himself a good Facebook debate, doesn't he?
Yeah, don't we all? I mean, I'm guilty of that, but maybe I don't think I have the target on my back yet.
I just tricked the Facebook algorithms. The Facebook algorithms, the only thing that they think I want is like cat videos and like funny dancing videos. So I don't actually get any pool stuff in my feed anymore, which I'm telling you, it makes things a lot less stressful. It's
absolutely.
Time.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a lot better than
yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, this algorithm, it's a really smart algorithm, but it can be tricked just like anything else. Just start watching a lot of cat videos. You'll be good. it'll keep feeding it to you.
That's pretty funny.
No. All right. So then the big event, obviously you're talking about the 1 ball, 1 pocket and the 1 pocket as fillers for the real event, the main event, the reason you're putting the event on. So that's a Matchroom ranking event. So let's hear all the details for that.
All right, so it's a 128 player cap. It's over 3 days, starts on Friday, and basically, and every day basically kind of cuts the field in half. So we start with 128, the next day is 64, Sundays 32. All those events are pretty much the same formula now, and it's single elimination in the last 32.
Sure.
Right. No playoffs in that one because that's going to take a while. The last day, it's all shot clocks. Everyone's going to be on the shot clock the last day. And if you've ever been to the room, which you haven't, it's just 2 tables side by side, like 5. So how I have
like
it for
turning stone setup, basically.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to say it. So I got last day, I'm going to use every other table zigzag. That way, when they're on the shot clock, they have a lot of space. And they're working on last year. I requested the shot clock and they actually made it for me. And this year they're kind of perfecting it. So it's pretty cool to see that happen. I didn't have a shot clock. I asked Isaac to do it and he made it in like 10 days and we figured it out together. It was pretty amazing. So
easy game.
Yeah. I mean, that was going to be
a huge hurdle
for me.
Shall receive.
I mean, it was unbelievable. Like godsend. I mean, not to be all weird about it, but I was dealing with a different company before, and it was difficult to get even basic things done. So going from where I text the creator and he messages me back instantly, and he's a super cool guy. I mean, I can't beat that,
No.
So, and then obviously the matches are scheduled because we had it was very late last year, and that was probably like my biggest, regret with the tournament, but you live and you learn, and obviously I'm working really hard to avoid that stuff and make it better. So
sure. Well, that's all you can do, right? Is make mistakes, grow from them, learn from them, make sure they're not a mistake next time, right?
Yeah. We have a question.
Yep. Tracy wants to know, are you is it refs be racking or racking your own?
The refs are racking the balls this year. I just noticed a lot of pattern racking and I didn't like it. So
and with templates.
Yep. Magic Ball Rack is sponsoring the event.
Sure. All right. Scott, are you going to be playing in it?
I am. Yeah. I think I've got some decent points. I I lost an early round. I don't know at Derby, then come through and Fortunsky beat SVB 9-3, and then I put a package on Fortunsky. And I don't know what round I got into. 9th round, and then Mora played perfect on me. I missed one ball against Mora, but anyway, he played perfect, broke better than I did. But yes, I'll definitely be playing. I've been playing a lot more 9-ball than I've been playing 1 pocket lately. So, and I do like the game when I'm playing it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing.
Sure. Are you trying to make any sort of pushes this year for a Moscone Cup bid, or you just kind of playing the games that you want to play and piggybacking off of your opportunities that commentating for Matchroom?
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't have anything to say right now. I get word sometimes that I might be captain. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest with you. I'm just going to do my job. I was hired to do all the majors in the United States as far as the commentary is concerned, which I'm very grateful for. And they also gave me an opportunity to play as well, if I'd like, in the events. So that's pretty cool. And we're just going to go from there. You know what I mean? I'm keeping a close eye on the other players and in communication with a lot of them, and really just, I don't know anything, 100% don't know anything about the captain position, and I didn't volunteer for that either. I can promise you there's a lot of things that I'm asking for if I was ever to take the job. I don't need 20,000 handed to me to disgrace our country, and that's not what I'm in it for. I'm in it to be competitive and possibly win, and that's going to take some help. But other than that, I'm looking forward to being involved. I think Matchroom's on the right track. I really do. I think their production value is through the roof.
Second to none.
I agree.
It's second to none, and I hope that there's more qualifying events or ranking events in the United States in years to come. And I hope we fill this. I hope we fill this event in Boston, because Beau works his ass off, and Mason's a great guy as well. So really need that support while it's going on, because we're not going to get 20 years to make this work. If the players don't show up, and then one day this event or these tours are gone, and they're looking up in the ceiling saying, "Man, I have nothing to play in." Well, there's a good possibility it's partly your responsibility as well to support these events.
Yep. Yeah, the players. I mean, a simple share. I mean, even if you're not going to go to the event, a simple share in the event might be that little bit more reach that So Scott, I mean, I know you've listened to the podcast in the past, because you've reached out to us before.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've watched any of your recent stuff, but I made a claim after the U.S. Open that your incident with Hunter was the best thing that could have happened to your career at this point in time. And I say that because a day later from that, you're in the booth with Matchroom, and next thing you know, you're commentating all these events. And I think there's a lot of people probably locally to the Arizona area that probably knew how great of a commentator you were, but across the pool world, people did not realize how great you were in the booth. I'm not going to say that.
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy to me.
I knew it was great.
I've commentated for Ray Hansen for like 5 years.
Yep.
I worked with Billy and Cardone.
But that's PPV. Remember, that's PPV. So unless you're paying for it.
That's a good point.
It's true. That's exactly true. And so that's where I was actually headed. It's weird, because I felt like people in the States knew my commentary. I've done it forever. And then,
but never on a platform like that.
Right. When I did the U.S. Open, which was ironic, because before I went to the U.S. Open, I had already talked to Carl Boys. So to be fair, that incident with
You've been around Carl for way too long.
To be fair with Hunter, though, that my plan going there was already to talk to Matchroom about a possible position commentating. I'm sure it stimulated the opportunity, to say the least. But that being said, it was actually in my mind the whole time. Not when the incident happened. I can promise you that. I wanted to stab somebody with my cue at the moment, but
and I will say that you handled that extremely well, because I mean, I was on site. I saw your face at the end of that. I didn't see the event happen, but I saw what happened, like your interaction after the match. You handled it as well as you could have possibly handled that. Kudos.
Appreciate it. There wasn't much I could do. She was stern in her judge in her ruling, and I could see it, I could feel it, and I'm like, what am I going to throw a fit? There was just nothing I could do.
That's funny because
go ahead. Oh, sorry.
They emailed me basically telling me that I had to make this event all ball follows, but in the past I used the turning stone rule because we use that rule in the Northeast almost at every tournament, where it's only if you touch 2 balls or while you're shooting.
Sure.
So I don't know.
So your event's an all ball foul event?
I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But they did tell me I have to do it. We'll see what happens.
It can be tricky.
Yeah. I mean, I stand by my claim. I think that would you have gotten an opportunity anyways? Probably, maybe, potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it definitely, never know, right? I don't deny it. It definitely sparked the opportunity.
But I would venture to say,
I also think I kind of earned that opportunity.
Sure, absolutely.
What I didn't realize is if I win that match, it's a redraw as well. And I started playing. I mean, in that particular match, all you guys saw was what you saw. In that particular match on 4-inch pockets, I missed 0 balls. He missed like 8. And it was just one of those funny matches. We didn't have any problems throughout the match. I said nothing the entire match. There was 20 people on the rail there. I never said a word. But I got better every match. And my 9-ball game is actually, my 10-ball game stinks because I don't know how to break, but I have a big break playing 9-ball. And it was getting stronger. And I didn't know there was a redraw. If I would have won that match, there was a redraw. And I go into another bracket where would have helped me with points. I know I wasn't going to win the tournament, but it definitely helped the situation. But I can also tell you that when I did get the commentary job, they told me I could do 2 or 3 games in a set. They gave me a shot. They're like, yeah, let him do 2 or 3 games in a set, and then we'll put Jeremy back in. And I was like, oh God. So, but after the 3rd game, the producer said in the microphone, let him finish this out. And then the next morning, they asked me to do the live TV stuff throughout Sky Sports, which is in Europe, which is semifinal, the quarterfinals, semifinals, etc., which was great. I'm very thankful for where I'm at.
Yeah. And I think, in the moment, you, like you said, you wanted to stab someone with your cue.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hold firm to that. I think that may have been the best thing for your career going forward.
Obviously, no doubt, because then
you're going to be set up with a lot of commentary jobs from here on out. I mean, you might be doing this for 15 years now. It might be longer.
I've had to turn some away, actually. It's crazy. After the Moscone Cup, what's happened, it's crazy, how it's gone down. So, but I got to, shout out to Beau, and he's been amazing to work with, and no pun intended with amazing billiards, but he's been great to work with. And I just hope everybody's like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah. So I guess that's a pretty good conclusion of what your event is. How do people out there support it? I'm assuming you're going to have some sort of VIP seating. Usually events like this do. Are you?
Yeah, we are. We're going to release that probably next Monday or Tuesday. All the details are we have multi-table streaming, so that's going to be pay-per-view. The main table is going to be free. Sharing the event, if you know anyone wants to sign up, we do have some space left. Not a lot of space in the smaller events, but there is some space in the 9-ball. And just supporting and sharing goes a long way, like you said, and it's free. You don't even know how much it goes. Yep. People don't see it, and just getting it out there is huge. Once Facebook picks it up, you can go really far too. So
that goes for everything pool.
Everything, yeah.
This podcast, a share goes a long ways, people.
I didn't share it, so I'm kind of mad at myself. I was looking to share it on the phone.
I didn't share it either.
That's probably why I couldn't find it.
Well, please tag me in this, and I'll definitely share it.
I'm going to find it and share it, though, I promise.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I guess anything else that I missed, I'm give a shout out to your sponsors one more time for supporting it. Obviously, if you're out there and you're looking at supporting the pool industry, start with the companies that are actually supporting the industry. So give them a shout out.
$1 Million Q's is a new one that not a lot of people know about. They're adding a lot of money to this event, so please support them. They have a lot of nice products. McDermott obviously is supporting this event. One Ball, One Pocket, In the Box Sports, Ship to Cash, Perimeter Billiard Lighting is sponsoring this event. I know I forgot one like a dummy. Geez, what's the other ones?
Put you right
on the spot. Right on the spot. Hold on one second. Well, I think that's pretty much all of them. Oh, Magic Ball Rack. And I think that's it. I think that's the main ones right there.
And then all the tournament brackets are going through Digital Pool. So
yes, and Digital Pool. How could I forget Digital Pool? I knew there was one.
Okay, so both of the
we'll be at McDermottClassic.com to find the brackets. Really easy.
Okay, and then one more time, the dates of the event.
It's March 12th through 17th. The 12th is the One Ball, One Pocket. The 13th and 14th are the One Pocket. And then the 15th through 17th are the 9 Ball. It ends on St. Patrick's Day. So shout out to McDermott there again.
Perfect. And then anything else, either one you guys want to highlight before we close this and wrap this up?
Jeremy Jones will be doing some commentary too. I know we didn't talk about him, but yeah, he's going to be there too. So shout out to Jeremy.
All good, Scott.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Yep. I appreciate you guys for joining. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and sharing along the way. And check out Amazing Billiards and Beau Powers' Facebook page. Follow him. Give him a follow. Sign up for the event. Help him fill this one up so he doesn't have to reach into his pocket this time. Sorry you had to do that.
It's all right.
And with that being said, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're actually going to be running another podcast right after this in about 7 minutes. So we're going to be having 2 podcasts today and another one that's going to be a secret one that's it's going to be coming out on Saturday. So 3 podcasts today.
Thanks for fitting me in. I appreciate it. I really do.
Thank you, guys.